Baby, what you want to do? Hello, people. Hello, people. How are we doing on a Tuesday night as we are here with the six-man convo with your boy Six-Man K Styles. Starring Six-Man K Styles. And also starring Mad Mike Sports, the great one. Hey, y'all see I had to switch it up a little bit with the tune. Kind of give that lounge vibe today. So you already know how we start these shows, man. We're going to hit them with the 3 words. 1, 2, 3. And what the words are?
The radio roll call.
Roll call. So today's roll call, we showing appreciation to everybody. We're going to kick the roll call off with your boy Big Ant, Ted Sports and Gaming, Pat Norris, Bubba Gum, Vlad Tepes, Joseph Thornton, just visiting DR, Millie Mills, Culture Chain, Sherman Wood, and Bubba Gum, Michael Walker, ATL, Leo, Low Ski, Jerry Bowie, Red Swan, Marvin Johnson. Yeah, I'm Von D. Coleman, John Higgins. Hey, it's Jerome in the house.
I say Jerome's in the house.
And we got Yusuke, Jonathan Bell, Isaac, Miss Carrie in the building, Brian Peoples, Hey, so we driving, so we riding. Hey, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, people, man? As you see tonight's show, we are going to be talking about defense. In particular, the mini hammer himself, Grady Jarrett. Now, before we start off, I want to ask the people a question here. How did y'all feel about the vibe of that intro? Because that's something a little bit different than what y'all used to. What you think about that, Mike? Kind of different, ain't it?
Oh, it's good for me because it calmed my damn nerves. I be so anxious when I do these shows and people don't realize I gotta calm myself. So I love it.
Okay, so
give me that sway.
You got a feng shui, you got a vibe to it, man. Because at the end of the day, when you're coming over here to the 6-man combo, when you're coming over here with AFN, Friday Night Madness, it's all about a vibe around here, man.
Mm-hmm.
And why does it sound like I'm smoking right now, but I'm not? Every day. I'm like, bro, I've been watching too much Dazed and Confused. I tell you that much. But getting back to the subject at hand, man. As we already know, Eddie Goldman, new Falcon signee, defensive tackle. What has been the main thing with that we have been talking about as far as Grady Jarrett? Is getting him the help so he can go ahead, so he can produce the way that we want him to produce at. Mm-hmm. What I mean by getting him some help is getting him some threats that can get to the passer, that can get that, okay, I know he there type of things. Because we already know Grady Jarrett's first step is one of the quickest in the league for his position. Mm-hmm. But the knock has been Grady Jarrett last season was 1 sack. So, Mike, I'm going to let you kick this off on this question here. And this is a question everybody can answer to. When I ask questions, everybody can give an answer as well, because this is how we read our comments and stuff. We know Grady Jarrett got the extension. The coaching staff have a belief in him, as we do too. We believe that Grady Jarrett can get back to that level. I actually feel like he's never left that level. The problem is, you can't be a one-man band out there.
It's a one-man band. My bad. I had a flashback.
So my question to you, yeah, exactly. So my question to you would be: is have the Falcons done enough to at least give him some semblance of help for the 2022 season?
I think they went over and out like a way above what they could have and should have done. They've done more than enough. Starting last year with the addition of Mike Pennell and Anthony Rush. So they've been doing nothing for the past few years. And that's what we say. That's what I was saying about early today, not too long ago, was that rant was that you got to have a foundation of players. Once you got that foundation of players, it's become a lot easier to find a player. It's easier to develop that great player because you already have a great player in Deion Jones. You have a great player in Grady Jarrett. At this point, you can kind of wait a couple of years for a Marlon Davidson to kind of get it, a Anthony Rush, Eddie Goldman, Ogundeji. You can wait for these guys to finally get it because you already got a great player. So getting rid of those guys is going to only put more added pressure on Ogundeji to perform. So these guys can develop the proper way, and it all begins right up here and right in here.
Right.
If upstairs you don't believe you're the great one, how can you be great? You don't even believe that you're great. It starts with your words and start with your mentality. So once you start believing that you are the great, it's going to correspond. It's going to translate to the field. So for me, I think they've already done it. They went out, got Anthony Rush last year. They tried to see what was going to happen with Dante Fowler. That didn't go. But the draft, like I said, even with the draft, the free agency, they went out and got Vincent. Why do I want to say Vincent Jackson? Vincent Taylor. And RIP Vincent Jackson. But they got Vincent Taylor. They got Ogundeji. They have Malone. They have AK-47. They got Anthony Rush, obviously, but they got Eddie Goldman now. So I think they went well out of the point. The thing is nobody knows these guys. We live in a society where if it's not a name brand or a big name, nobody cares. Nobody cares. it has to be a flashy. If you ain't jumping and you ain't got Gucci and Prada on, if you ain't got the new Trey Youngs on, if you ain't got the new Jordans, the new quote unquote new Jordans on, you ain't got the LeBron, you ain't got the new Kobe's. Nobody gives a damn. So that's the problem with the Falcons. The Falcons have went way beyond what they've ever done for Grady, just in a 2 years time. But the problem is nobody knows these guys. Don't nobody know, even though he came from a big school in AK, but nobody knows him. Nobody knows that he was a teammate of the rookie of the year. Nobody knows that type of stuff. Nobody cares about that. They only care about that guy.
So it's what it sounds like. What you're saying is, and you actually just said it, but I'm going to kind of
Mhm.
add a little bit to it. You say it's like a pair of Jordans, the new J's that come out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants the new J's, but for those that $250 for that pair of J's that you got, we went to Walmart and got 6 pairs of shoes for that same price.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Because when we talk about all the pass rushers, have you noticed something too? Especially when we talk about the pass rushers, have you noticed something? There's one name we always leave out when we talking about pass rushers, and that's Lorenzo Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Always leave the name out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but by you saying that, it actually plays into an advantage because, like you said, nobody knows what these guys can do. Nobody knows what this unit is capable of. And this is why a Grady Jarrett is important in this defense right now because you need some type of stability, some type of stable position on that defensive line. And you know
Mm-hmm.
Grady is the staple, this not just the staple, but the
Mm-hmm.
stability. And everything leading up to this point, we we just have to see the results on the field, man. We like you said, and
Mm-hmm.
I said it last night. When you
Yeah,
go
yeah, I know.
through
Walmart
when
shoes.
you
Damn, my bad. Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I buy
about,
me some Walmart shoes. I got Jordans. I
shit,
got Walmart shoes. Hell yeah.
shit, I
Shit,
got
I
hell
agree.
yeah, shit. Fuck y'all, bro. Hey, look, forget y'all, man. Shit.
Bruh, for
hey,
real.
hey, I'm about to say, shoot. Hey, shoes be like $25, bro. Shoot, hey,
Bruh.
do one or two things. I'm gonna do one thing in them things, and that's walking them hoes.
Right.
And for them
The hell,
$250, I can buy 7 pairs, and I'll be
bruh. I'm right there with you.
I ain't got
I
look. I ain't
feel
got
the same way.
look.
Shoot.
Look, with them 7 pairs of shoes, I ain't gotta buy another pair of shoes no more.
Good man. Right, for real, bro. Like that. Like I say, I don't even wear my Jordan like that. I'll and we up there talking about shoes there. But yeah, I don't even wear my J like that, bro.
Yeah,
I very seldom even wear them. That's it.
right,
I get me some Walmart shoes
right.
with the cool. But that's besides the point.
But it kind of makes a point too because, like you said, it's essentially getting a bang for your buck. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
we had like looking at Grady Jarrett right now. You've like I said, you've added pieces around him that do one thing and one thing well, and that's attack the line of scrimmage. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said last night, when you had to deal with 2 years Steven Means, I think you about ready to see something else.
Right. Right. Yeah. Hell,
Shoot.
paying $40 million for a damn Dante Fowler shit. You don't want to go pay for a $5 million guy. You get three,
Right.
four, $5 million guys, bro. Like, look, that's what the Falcons. Like I said, it does translate well because
Right.
that's the mentality that the Falcons are doing. Instead of
Mhm.
going out and spending 3 first-round picks, I think we gave like 3 first-round picks to get Julio Jones. Hell, we'll get a
Mhm.
Drake London. Drake London may never be a Julio Jones, but that doesn't mean he can be a quality receiver. That's what it all come down to, bro.
And
Stop
I
going out.
think and I think that's where the issue lies in as well is we're looking for guys to be the next whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's where like these expectations come in at. So we be looking at, and we've said this before, when people look at Grady Jarrett, who's the one person that they always look at as the standard bearer in that position?
Mm,
Aaron Donald. See, now
yeah.
Aaron Donald's getting 10, 15, 20 sacks a season.
Yeah.
That's great. Doesn't mean every defensive tackle is going to get 15, 20 sacks. But where the people are looking at is one, two, you would like to see more sack production out of his position. This is where Anthony Rush comes in. He's the one tech. He's the zero tech. This is his job. His job is to hold up, make sure ain't nobody pushing his ass back. You got Goldman. He's your two tech.
Mm-hmm.
He's your 4-eye. He's that guy. And like you said, and this is why I say it's very interesting that how are they going to use Ebiketie on Grady Jarrett's side? Because if that does, that actually might help Grady Jarrett a lot more than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that? What you think about that tape?
Um, I think that's the biggest issue, not having a guy, because if you remember, a lot of people like to bring up the fact that Vic Beasley had 15 sacks that year, but they forget the fact that Grady Jarrett had a great Super Bowl year. Why I bring that? Because Grady and Vic actually had chemistry together at Clemson, so they knew each other. They knew exactly how um, they were yin and a yang, if that makes sense. You had a guy in Vic Beasley who was a threat. All right, he may not have been the elite threat, but he was a threat on the outside. So when you got that defense, the offense, and the Patriots, you go back to the Super Bowl. All they was attention was stopping Vic Beasley. We're not gonna let Vic Beasley beat us. What happened? Grady Jarrett ended up having damn near 5 sacks in the game. Why? Because he had that threat on the outside. So if you got that
Right.
threat on, this is why I said, I can see where Dean Pease was thinking. He wasn't concerned about having a guy in the middle who could free up Grady. That's why he went up and got Malone and Ebiketie, Carter, and now he has a fourth one in Ogum Daisy, obviously. But he got 4 edges that he can help try to get that one-on-one opportunity for Grady Jarrett. And like I said, the success with Grady Jarrett came with Vic Beasley. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was just gonna say possible five.
5.
Possible five.
Okay. I know that. Yeah, I know that.
T1
Yeah, I know that. T1000. Like I said,
T1000.
that's possibly 5 guys now that you have as an edge, that you can put out there. And we've seen Deion Jones in certain situations actually play the outside edge as well. So he has multiple. Because what you want to do as a defensive end, if you can stretch those guards out, you got a better chance at succeeding. You don't want those guards being stationary. If the guard is stationary, you lost. You automatically lost because they don't have to do too much. But when you got these guys, you stretching these guys and stretching the tackle and stretching those guards where they leave that one-on-one opportunity and those gaps and those B and C gaps, that's when you can take advantage. You don't want now you can stretch those edges and like that's the reason why a lot of Falcons didn't get a lot of sacks last year is because they were unable to stretch the offensive line out. Once you can stretch the offensive line, they just say like, look, is it easier to get a sack on a quarterback if he's like this or he's like this? Okay, I just keep that real. It's easier to get to the quarterback when it's like this versus it like this to be more visible with you guys.
I was gonna make a joke, but I was gonna make a joke, but it was gonna be inappropriate right now, so I'm not gonna even make that joke.
I already know.
Get a couple of these comments in right quick, man. John Higgins here. He said, why spend all that money on one shoe when we could break it up and get a bunch of shoes?"
Hey man, yes. That's it.
Because guess what? If you get a bunch of little shoes like that, that's, well, like I said, that'd be a little bit of money that rolls over for next year. Then maybe you can get them J's.
Yeah. Exactly.
We got Juto Sports in the building, man. Y'all make sure y'all show. Y'all make sure y'all show love to the minister. Exactly. Let's see what else we got here. CK22 here said defensive line upgrades change everything we thought we knew about this team in terms of potential. The one thing that I'm looking for in this defensive line is not even the skill aspect of it. I'm looking for the attitude. I'm looking at who want to snatch somebody's lunch money. This is what I'm looking for. And these are the type of guys they bringing in guys that like to snatch folks' lunch money. Let's see. Good one more out here. Red Swarm here said, get some respect on Mad Mike's name. My boy out here putting it down. I caught him on another show on Sunday, and Mike ripped it. Oh yeah, you always gotta give flowers what flowers is due, man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I definitely do that.
Right. And I saw one more. They talk about Marlon Davidson. Yeah, Millie Mills here to talk about Marlon Davidson. What do we do with? I wouldn't necessarily call him bum ass right now. This year we're gonna find out if he's a bum or not. But this is why they so high on Taquan Graham. This is why they high on guys like that. Because ain't nobody's job is safe. If Marlon Davidson can't get it done like they want him to get it done, and Taquan Graham shows out, you're going to see Taquan Graham. And then that's where Marlon Davidson becomes expendable.
Yeah. That's why it's important to have a Grady Jarrett in the middle. And this is why I keep saying, this is why you don't want to get rid of a Dion and a Grady. Because these guys have yet to develop. We don't know what these guys are going to be good at. If Marlon is better as an edge versus a D tackle, we'll figure that out. But like, how can you build a defense if you don't know what guys are good at?
Right.
Let's think about that for a second. If you don't know what Marlon Davis is good at, how can you build a defense? How can you build upon what Grady Jarrett? We know what Grady Jarrett is good at. That's getting after the quarterback. Right. So you can create more opportunities to get after the quarterback versus stopping the run. Like, he's good. Grady Jarrett is one of those few defensive tackles that's good against the run and good against in the pass. So when you have that, are you asking a Taquan Graham and Marlon Davidson is just win your one-on-one opportunity? That's it. What if you don't have that Julio Jones there? We saw what happened. We didn't have the spacing. when Julio was there. We had no space. Everybody was at the line of scrimmage, and
I'm
that
about to
makes the
say,
offensive worse.
I'm about to say,
Much
what
worse.
the hell? What the hell was space?
Right.
What the hell was space?
I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna actually put the difference in spacing. I'm gonna put that in the community tab so you guys can do so you can kind of get a visual on what I mean with Julio Jones, without Julio Jones, and this
Mhm.
is why I'm not as difficult or not as hard on the wide on the offensive line than most. Like everybody's just so down on the offensive line. Well, like when you don't have that spacing, that's 7, 8 guys at line of scrimmage. It's only 5 of them. Can you like do the math, bro? How you gonna block 8 people when you only got 5 blocks?
Seven. Look, hold on. 7
Right,
minus 5
right.
equals 2.
Go on. You see why Matt Ryan ain't getting the ball out? There's 7 people coming after him. They only got 5 to 6 people blocking. It's just like I said, it's basic math.
Right. Now, speaking of the pros of a Grady Jarrett, I think there's one con that Grady Jarrett that has to be brushed up on, and that's finishing certain plays. You don't see it too often, but it's just like some of them cases where he'll get in the backfield quick as hell. I don't know if he
Yeah.
surprises himself to get back there, and then he has an
Yeah.
opportunity for a sack, and he doesn't come up with it. Now, this
This
has
might
been
sound
Grady Jarrett's. This may have been Grady Jarrett's Achilles heel the last couple years. And this is where he has to come in and be that tone setter. Let these folks know if I get back there, I'm not letting you go. You either gonna go to the ground, either I'm gonna tackle you to the ground, or I'm gonna power drive you to the ground. One of the two. Which one do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I think his biggest issue is like he gets there way too fast, and that sounds crazy as hell. But like when you look at Aaron Donald, he's a more controlled uh interior rusher.
Mm-hmm.
It's more controlled than anything. Grady Jarrett at times he gets there so fast, like you said, it's almost like I said, it's almost like he gets there too fast, and he gets an awkward angle. And like as a defensive lineman, um, having the right fundamentals, and your spacing and your tackling form means everything. The fundamentals in pass rushing means everything because you can get pressure on the quarterback, but if you leaning to one side and then the quarterback make a little juke move, well, your ass is flying that way. And I think that's the issue. His fundamentals when he's passing, rushing the passer, is not as elite as an Aaron Donald because Aaron Donald, when he rushes the passer, he's under control. I've seen Grady Jarrett get there, but he's kind of falling off to the left or he's falling off to the right because he's getting there a lot quicker. So I think it's more of his fundamentals is rushing the passer than anything. He need to really brush up on his fundamentals because he does kind of like you said he does have an issue with like all right he'll miss a tackle because like you said and case I think coach just said it those angles them angles man those
Yeah,
damn
man.
angles.
Yeah, man. And then like I said, if you look at where Aaron Donald attacks compared to where Grady attacks, great like Aaron Donald really doesn't attack from the 3 tech position. He's usually in the 2 or the 2I.
Yeah,
That's
somewhere
where
in two.
that
Yeah,
so
yeah, you're
so
right.
So there's where the different correlation between those two is. Like Aaron Donald, like I ain't gonna say Aaron Donald doesn't attack from the 3 tech, 4 tech side of the game. He
Mm-hmm.
do, but most of the time you see him in that two
Because he
gap.
got better teammates. His teammates are able to give him
Right.
the necessary spacing that he needs.
So yeah. So this is where I think this is why you see those angles, those awkward angles, because we saw it in the
Mm.
Giants game last year. Daniel Jones, he put the NFL street juke move on him, and
Right,
he
right.
was pissed after that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But also, I also sometimes, and I kind of peeped it a little bit. He kind of thinks a lot when he get back there too. Cause I remember a particular game against the Eagles where he got a sack and got penalized for no apparent damn reason. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that. That was when they introduced the power drive and the quarterback rule.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cause that was the
He
same
is thinking
game
about,
That was the
yeah.
same game Dion and Keanu got hurt. That was that Eagles game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Grady Jarrett, like I said, Grady Jarrett, he attacks, and like I said, he got everything you want. Like you said, his issue is he has to finish plays. He has to finish them. And then
Mm-hmm.
that Lions game last year was the saddest thing I ever seen, bro. Because I was like, damn, the Lions had no respect for nobody else on that defensive line. I want you to think about that
Zero.
for a second. He said,
Zero.
damn it. He said, look, hold on. I think Red Swarm here said, yeah, look, hey, damn, y'all ain't gonna block nobody else.
Right. And that's what I was talking about having the offensive line, spreading the offensive line out. If you're gonna spread the
Right.
offensive line out, well, they have to respect and because if you look at a lot of those angles, there's a reason why they went out and got Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd, he's a guy who can get upfield fast. So what that does is force the tackle to go outside. It forces again to spread out a little bit. It forces that offensive line to spread out. Offensive linemen don't want to do that. They do not want to spread out. They don't want to move left and right. And
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The Rams force you to spread out. Why? Because they got a guy in the middle that can literally play every position. The more speed and the more opportunities to create those one on ones, obviously going to be better off of it. So like that's why having a Grady Jarrett and just an edge guy that can help. For one, they get upfield and having those linebackers. That's why you got to have a linebacker with speed like a Grady, like a Deion Jones and a Troy Anderson, because they can close those gaps a lot faster if the quarterback decide he wanted to run. And that's one of our issues too, playing in that cover three, is that they would send a lot of tight ends and running backs through the line, and the quarterback got too much time to get to the quarter. Like he got too much time to move around. So if you ain't getting that immediate pressure and you got the fast enough linebackers to close those gaps, that's the issue. That's why you saw the Falcons went out and got a guys with a bunch of speeds and the ability to close on. All their defensive backs have one thing in common: they're great at attacking the football. There's a difference. All of them are not running 4-3s and 4-4s. They're great at attacking the football, coming forward. D. Alford, if you go back and look at him and his tape in Canada, he's good at playing forward, like coming forward. All the DBs had the exact same thing in common.
I like the way you put that. And hey, yeah, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to Coach Unchained over here. Hey, this is AFN family right here. So y'all make sure y'all definitely show him some love. But he said, Grady, with this edition, no help on the line should be back to a 2016 form with extra protection.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, shit.
Subscribe.
Hell. Subscribe. And also subscribe to Six Man K Styles as well, man.
Make sure y'all have hit the subscribe button. Just like, hey, just
Yeah.
check it real quick to see if y'all hit that. Because sometimes I'll do it. I thought I'll subscribe to it, and then it's like I'm getting all the videos and notifications, but I forget. Just make sure you guys hit that subscribe button.
Right. Yeah,
it really helps.
Yeah, y'all go ahead, hit that subscribe button, man, and like I said, show your brother show your man some love over here, man. Like I said, I always say I appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Appreciate everybody. Cause God damn it, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all.
That's what dang on sure. I can tell you the same too.
Right. But I had a question, but I just had a brain fart there for a second. I had a question. No. You know what? No, it wasn't a question. It was a statement. A lot of people don't realize about Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald said this in an interview himself. One of his main moves that Aaron Donald loves to do on that D line is that jump swim move that he picked up from Robert Quinn. Well, they all picked it. They all studied under Chuck.
Yeah,
they all studied under Chuck. Chuck helped him perfect it. Mm-hmm. He saw Robert Quinn do it, but
yeah,
Chuck helped him perfect it.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, okay, so outside of here's the question. So outside of finishing plays, and I'm gonna ask the people this too. Outside of finishing sacks, because he get tackles for loss. The great thing, he gets tackles for losses. He just don't get much sacks. But outside of that, where do you think Grady Jarrett's improvement? Where do you think we need to see improvement of Grady Jarrett at?
Based on what Aaron Donald is?
No, not based on Aaron Donald. I'm just talking about from what you see. Just in general, from what you see from Grady Jarrett, what do you think that next step is to get him back to where he was? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think he never left. Just take it to the next level.
Nothing. Grady does not need to change anything. He doesn't need to get better at anything. Grady is already elite. The issue that we keep saying is whether or not finishing just comes in. It's like some people are lucky at securing that tackle and others aren't. But Grady doesn't really need to do anything differently outside of just, like I said, we haven't seen him what an Indomitian do. The one year that we saw it was Dontari Pope, and he put up big time numbers. The Falcons defense did really good under that. So like Grady doesn't need to do anything outside of what he's always been. The issue is when he gonna get some goddamn help. That's the same thing we've been saying about Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. When the hell these guys gonna get some help? So I don't see Grady. He doesn't lack in the defense. He doesn't lack strength. He doesn't lack athleticism. He's one of the most athletic outside of Aaron Donald. I don't think there's a more athletic. You can make the You can say Jeffrey Simmons maybe, but like I'll take Grady
Mm,
Jarrett as far as an athlete over him. Grady he's a freak of nature. He's just like his pops. Them dudes are just freaks of nature, man. They just gifted, athletically gifted. So Grady doesn't need to do anything outside of do what he does, and
okay.
hopefully he gets help because he has no help. And I bring this back up again. The last time Grady Jarrett was really dominant is when he had Vic Beasley by his side. Okay, when he had Vic Beasley and Don Poe by his side, we saw the best Grady Jarrett. Go back into that Super Bowl. He had Dwight Freeney, um,
Courtney
Adrian
Upshaw,
Claiborne,
Courtney
Courtney Up.
Upshaw,
He
Brooks
had guys
Reed.
around him. He had a lot of guys around him that could help him create that space. That's what we keep talking about. We keep talking about space. Offensive linemen don't want to be in space. They want to be in sync. They want to be together.
Mhm.
When you're not together, offensive line freak out. You can there's very few tackles in the league that it doesn't matter if they're in space or not, that they can hold their own.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to ask that question because I just wanted to add a little more context to it. Like you said, it's God damn. I just had another damn brain fart. What the fuck going on? I'm
Right, you
starting. I'm
say, hey,
starting.
well, me yesterday.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I'm about that. I'm having drunk. I'm having drunk host energy over here, boy. What the hell is
Hey, you
going
sound
on?
like me yesterday, bro. I
Nah,
was,
but
oh no, hey man,
yeah,
this is contagious.
yeah. Cause I had one question and then another one just popped in my head at the same time. So it's like, y'all, it's crumpling up here at the thing. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
like I said, it's like for me personally about Grady Jarrett, yeah. And what Grady Jarrett does one thing that a lot of defensive tackles don't really do in this league is hustling after the play.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, and this is kind of one of those things where you see Grady kind of tires out that when he say he really doesn't give up on plays, he really
Mm-hmm.
don't. This motherfucker, this dude literally was chasing down wide receivers on slants last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, good. I'm like, bruh, it's just about and and as much as everybody talk about Don Poe, Jack Crawford didn't get as much
And
love.
I know you was gonna say that. God dang it.
Jack Crawford didn't get as much love as a lot of people didn't realize too, because Grady Jarrett had a great year with him too. But it
Mm-hmm.
goes back to the theme. If you get a guy that complements Grady, Grady is able to do his thing. Like I said, Aaron Donald had Michael Brockers. He had Ndamukong Suh. He had A. Sean Robinson. Um,
Leonard Floyd. Like
Leonard
he
Floyd.
had.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm very intrigued. And then the other thing, I think the underrated factor for this upcoming season is the attitude of the team. That's going to play a big part into how this season is going to play out because as you see a lot of these guys, yeah, Dolly, yeah, brain farts, yeah, brain farts. Because that's the one thing we have to look at is the team camaraderie, the players having this the players having this youthful energy when you see them out here, when you see people doing the interviews, you see them with the clips of camp and stuff like that. You just see a different energy. And Grady Jarrett even said it himself, man, the energy is a lot different now
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because you got a lot of young guys now. So he's got to play keep up. And he's the elder statesman on that defense right now. It's kind of weird to say that when he's only 28. He's the elder
Right.
statesman of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey man, I was about to say, we got about well, what you got here? You say Grady is special, but you're only as good as your weakest link. At the end of the day, it takes the whole D line rushing as a unit. The lone wolf dies without a pack.
Boy, right there.
That is a
Mm-hmm.
fact.
No matter how strong he is, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, the lone wolf dies without the pack.
Ray 50 talking about I ain't know you was a Muslim. But this ain't a Muslim hat.
What the hell?
No, he see the rag on my
I
head.
see.
He think I got a kufi on. Like, bro, I ain't got no kufi on. What
No,
the hell you talking
no,
about?
that's clearly not it.
Nah. He always talking trash, man. It's all good. But so we got about 15 minutes left. I'll let y'all go ahead and put a couple questions in there, man. And while we get some questions, let's play some get some questions up music. And we got a different song right here, man. Y'all probably gonna laugh at it too. So hold on. Let's go. Y'all go ahead and put questions in. If you haven't subscribed yet to Six Man K Styles, go ahead and subscribe to Six Man K Styles. We got a couple questions. What you see? Hey,
That man up here swinging. What the world?
hey, hey, shit. Hey, that shit jamming, boy. I don't care what nobody say. Okay, I'm gonna all right. See, we get one more. What? I look, that kind of vibe right there, boy. I could you get one of them fedoras with the scarf around.
Mhm.
That shit is hilarious. Ah man. Ray 50 said, did y'all see Terrell? Y'all see Terrell Pitts and Lindstrom making the top 100? Maybe AJ Terrell. Well, I doubt they'll put Chris Lindstrom in there. I doubt they would. The Falcons will probably have to win at least 13 games in order for them to put Chris Lindstrom in there.
Yeah, I don't expect no respect for any player we got.
Yeah, like Terrell, you can't hide that he's one of the better young corners in this league. Thank God
Mm-hmm.
they did. Thank God they didn't fall into Jeff Okuda hype. I'm glad they didn't fall for
Oh
that
boy, yeah, that would have been a
shit.
nightmare. That would have been a nightmare, bro.
You know what? I have a no. Look, no. You know what? There, I got a question for everybody here. I got a question for everybody. How would y'all would have felt by the way things are playing out right now if the Atlanta Falcons would have jumped on the Jeff Okuda hype? I'm waiting on some answers.
We talking about fired, but the whole everybody would have been fired.
So if the Falcons would have jumped on Jeff Okuda instead of AJ Terrell, how would y'all feel?
Yeah, everybody would have been.
I already didn't see the hype because the thing about it was
I mean,
I saw Chase Young. That's all I saw on that defense was Chase Young.
I never saw what was so special about him.
but but the reason why I asked the question too is this is when we talk about like excitement. I ain't gonna say excitement when you start putting the hype and that got to get kind of guy hype the media puts out there over over the skill set. Like you said, AJ Terrell, like I said, we have to remember AJ Terrell, his whole niche that pretty much got him booed in Atlanta at first was the fact that Jamar Chase beat him on like 2 plays in the national title game. 2 or 3 plays. Oh yeah, the same Jamar Chase that went for 1,600 yards last year.
That man did everybody in.
The one, and like it's, and then actually looking back at it, it wasn't even a terrible game by AJ Terrell. He got beat on 2 plays. He just got outran on 2 plays. It wasn't like he tripped and fell on his face. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't fall in that Okuda hype. Because I was like, nah, I don't see it. I almost fell for that Kayvon Chason hype. I almost fell for that damn hype. Now like, nah, that never mind. No. Because I said he reminds me
at the time, I could see it. I think it was just more so at the time what we needed, and you know,
right.
like, it made sense,
right?
But not the value. The value just wasn't there,
right? Yeah, AJ Terrell got based off of 2 plays. 2 plays. The same. It was almost as the same as Jalen Ramsey getting beat in the Super Bowl on 2 throws, which one of them should have been an offensive pass interference. And like I said, this is where we try to get in the notion of we can't base guys on that, especially if you're playing against a guy who's going to have a future caliber player like a Jamar Chase. This is what we talk about with Desmond Ridder. Everybody talks about his game against Alabama. Like, motherfucker, it's Alabama.
Right. What'd you expect?
It wasn't the worst game. It wasn't the greatest game. But they was outmatched from the get-go. We did a pregame show. Me, Mike, and a few others did a pregame show talking about how that game was going to play out. Mike summed it up in 3 words. Next game.
Yep. Yeah, I knew exactly what was up.
But at the end of the day, man, we gotta let this coaching staff develop these players. Then you get a AJ Terrell.
Any of them.
Like you said, Kyle Pitts is another example. Kyle Pitts ain't even learned how to play the possession yet.
That's scary.
I hope y'all realize that, right? He hasn't even learned how to run routes. He's learning how to run routes this offseason.
Once he learned those angles and how to consistently beat those linebackers and understand where in his offense where those holes in the
Mm-hmm.
in the defense is going to be, and
Mm-hmm.
where they're trying to attack on a consistent basis, he gonna be nasty, man.
Right, right. Because actually, the Buffalo game, he started putting it together around that Buffalo game before he
Yep.
got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like you said, once Kyle Pitts start learning his cuts, that's a whole nother animal that's about to be unleashed here.
Fucking
Once he learns how to
experience.
run routes, once he gets his route running down, he played all last season off of just pure athleticism. You could tell by the way he was running routes, he wasn't cutting on jack shit.
Uh-uh. Mm-hmm. I called it out several times during the season.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't even learned how to run routes yet. You can go
Mm-hmm.
back and I could actually I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that. But like that's something that we was talking about in our spaces too. When we hold the
Mm-hmm.
spaces during the game. So like, he hasn't even like he was a poor route runner. I would say poor, but he is a lot that he like you said, he was just using his he hasn't even learned how to use his body yet. That's the thing. Once he learn how to use his size,
Mm-hmm.
that dude's gonna be nasty, man. Like he
Yeah.
learned that in college how to use because like college is a little bit more open, as
Mm-hmm.
far as like their lanes and stuff like that. So
See,
he was using his athleticism and like he
see.
learned the college game fairly quickly. But once he learned how to use that NFL, use his body in NFL, it's gonna get nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. And because the thing about with Kyle Pitts, and I'm gonna say this about Kyle Pitts, and this is one of the major factors that I said he has done a good job with when we saw last year is he knows how to protect himself in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all look closely at Kyle Pitts when he caught the ball in the middle of the field, he knew how to protect himself. He knew
No
how to
winning.
use the he knew how to use his body.
A lot of big men don't like. They think is up like a lot of big men. If you look at Travis Kelsey will be physical when he needs to, but if he needs to get down, he's gonna go down.
Right.
All that macho shit in football is gonna get you hurt.
That's why George Kittle ain't been healthy in the last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all
Cause
cool and all.
he try to go out here acting like Dolph Ziggler out here and trying to be a wrestler, and he missing 4-5 games a year.
Right.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Looking ass.
And that's the biggest issue, right? You can't look. It's okay, and that's something that even Warwick Dunn tried to um, tell Devontae Freeman, like, bro, get your ass out of bounds, prolong your career, get out of bounds, protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to go head on with every running back. You go head on with running backs when it's time to, third downs, fourth down, and inches, those types of things. That's when you go head on when you have no choice.
Devontae Freeman. Oh, he had little man syndrome, bro. He
Mm-hmm.
tried to run everybody over. I'm like, dude, it ain't necessary.
Mm-mm.
It ain't necessary, bro. Like I said, your main idea is to protect yourself. You can be physical, but do it in a smart way. Devontae Freeman, I'm just gonna say it like this. He played football like a hood nigga. That's how he played football. We always be trying. If we ain't juking nobody, we running folks over.
Running folks over. Hey, you ain't lying. Yeah. You ain't lying.
If you can't juke nobody, if you couldn't juke nobody, what's the first thing you did? I'm finna run his
Run
ass
over.
over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you not lying. Good God.
That came out of nowhere, but that shit was funny, man. That was funny as hell, though, man. So we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for the night, man. We definitely appreciate everybody. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta do it right. Hold on. Let me do it right. Let me do it right. Wait a minute. Is that the other sound?
I think so. I think.
Oh. So we're gonna make sure we definitely tell y'all that we appreciate you tuning in to the 6-Man Convo. Make sure you go ahead and continue to like, comment, share, subscribe to 6-Man K Styles. And also, be on the lookout for What's the Word, Dirty Bird tomorrow with the minister. Be on the lookout for that, as well as following day, Dirty Bird Thursdays with the AFN family. Now, as I brought back the love music, so Mike, what do we tell them? We ain't here to play.
We're here to stay.
We ain't here to stay.
You
ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the hell up out of here.
Bah, bah, bah. Oh. And if you don't like that, Jimmy, what you got to say to the people?
And if you two don't like it, you can just pass the blunt to the nigga on your left.
Deuces.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
Pussy popping on a handstand.